because that like, damn, that's this is gonna be really hard to play.
Well, things just got a little bit more interesting because we're not seeing the Kazuya, are
Oh,
we?
we
We're
are
seeing
not.
Pac-Man come out. This is going to be really interesting, and who knows, maybe it'll change, maybe it'll get washed, but all right, Kazuya's coming out, but I guess opting to not want to deal with Luigi's chicanery going into game number 1. Like, I'm just not going to interact with it. You will be the aggressor, and you will like it.
Yeah, I guess like Pac-Man does a better job at making Luigi be uncomfortable, while a Kazuya Luigi matchup is more often than not like who's the one that finds the opening first. This is a different wheelhouse, and one that Luigi might not and Raru might not be as well equipped to deal with.
Yeah, Pac-Man, like, there is going to be some Pac-Man presence that he's dealt with. He's probably played against T's Pac-Man. I know someone in chat mentioned earlier that these two have only ever placed once, but maybe he played against the Pac-Man that time. He's not a common character.
No, not in the least, especially lately. Like they're more and more seldom for Pac-Man to come through. And keep in mind though, like only played once in bracket. These two are on the same team, are in the same region, or at least are in Japan. So the different regions in Japan aren't as far apart as they are in like the U.S. or Mexico. So
yeah, that is a very good point. If nothing else, they probably played a bunch online or warming up to each other at events. Just being on the same team really opens up the avenue for that. But stock number 1 did go in Shuton in T's favor, but Raru always has that ever-present win condition.
yeah, I mean, percent lead almost is irrelevant. Like it feels like until T gets to about like 40 to 60, and then it becomes relevant again, and then it stops being. That was silly. Trampoline stopping the dash attack. Percent to finish my point. Like percent is more about your percent gates in a matchup like this, rather than specific lead or not lead, unless T wants to play the time.
I mean,
not about
T is definitely not going to be against playing to time. You see that trampoline used in the neutral. That is going to be a very annoying tool for Raru to deal with because it shuts down his ability to dash up and go for that strike throw mix.
Yeah, it really, really does a good job at that. Even with T being in the corner so often, more often than not. F tilt, I guess.
Just kind of melon coming out as well, forcing him low because that fruit moves so slowly, and then the down air going to close it.
Trying to put out nairs, back airs in abundance. Utilizing that frame 3 nair as well. Frame 3 nair, frame 5 forward air for Pac-Man to keep in mind. And it's doing a great job at scrapping with Luigi in places where Raru is used to having an advantage. Pac-Man can keep up and then some.
And again with the Earl's Melon. Using that twice here in the first game. That fruit is not used very often, and it's really, I think, making Raru uncomfortable. It's an unusual character playing with an unusual tool even within that toolkit. And again, there you go. The up special just forcing Raru away, making it so hard as he sets up shop. The keys to success unlocked. Now we got an orange. Is he going to use that, or is he going to mix it up again? So much to think about.
If there's anything that Pac-Man can do, it can at least put you in awkward game states with the different bonus fruit to keep track of, the physics on trampoline and hydrant. But luckily for Luigi, like at these percentages, and up tilt wins the game.
Oh, you know what else can win the game? A properly placed bell. That one wasn't quite right. Oh, goes for the hydrant. I feel like a down air could have killed there, but maybe a little bit too high to feel comfortable with it connecting. Either way, you get to set up shop again, and because you have that hydrant, Luigi can't get a grab. I'm really seeing the vision now of why T went for this character.
Yeah, even despite not playing Pac-Man basically all weekend, it felt like this is looking refined and ready for exactly this matchup. Oh, and Raru getting a little greedy, wanting to go right to stage, not to ledge, set up instantly to have your typical grounded Luigi threat range with down tilts and rising fares, but not going to have it, not while the hydrant is there. It's on, like, to your point, Latini, it's just kind of feel like it's making Raru take an extra step, an extra second, and one more moment than he really seems to want to.
Yes, and that extra moment gives T license to set up, right?
1000%. Yeah.
Even on the the character select and the stage select. I don't know if this is the same habit Raru has that I know I have seen and have done myself, where you're really thinking about what to do and you sort of just like circle the stage select because you're a little bit lost, you're a little bit unsure. Possibly an early sign of a chink in the armor here for Raru. Does not want to go out at third place, but very much on the back foot going into game number 2 on a small stage, which I think is the right pick.
Yeah, small battlefield didn't offer anything that another stage might give you, especially with bands to keep track of.
Right. I assume Smashville is banned.
Yeah, probably. Smashville and Battlefield, maybe. Maybe actually not Battlefield. Extra verticality going a long way. All the same. Small battlefield is perfect for what you're trying to do. The matter is doing it. That's becoming at least a good start in this game, but harder and harder as a game might progress. What a neat call out there. I guess, yeah, because you're not really afraid of grab.
That instant air dodge to catch the key. Huge for Raru. Potentially could have lost a stock because it would have been sent in such an awkward angle there and probably got edge guarded. Instead, continuing to hold his lead. Now he is setting up shop. The Zaire doesn't quite hit him, unfortunately, but we still close out the stock there. 88% on Luigi. Not too shabby.
Yeah, you're willing to take that. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, wait. I think we take those.
Yeah, that's a little bit less willing to take that one. That's a bit rough.
Oh, okay, we take those.
Okay. Yeah, you take the Nair there. That's a missed tech. It's a missed second and a half. Losing the stock.
It's like such a lazy little move floating out there that catches you off. Oh, I like that from T. It's the awkwardness. He's forcing awkwardness on Raru and saying, what you gonna do about it? You got fast reaction times, now deal with this.
Yeah, he's making Raru think as opposed to, and I mean this legitimately, because like a lot of players at this level of play, you need to operate on some level of autopilot and at some level of like, oh, I already know the answer to this situation in order to think about what's really important, like the different mix-ups and the different layers that each other are on. But because everything is now just a little bit more awkward or a little bit more unique, or trampoline is in a really weird spot, Raru is forced to deal with that first before getting to the positions where he's comfortable.
Agree. Like, it's mental stack, right? The more you can add to your opponent's mental stack, the more they have to take away other things. And so they're playing that prioritization game, and that autopilot, the more it can take over, the more room there is in the mental stack for the weird stuff. So he is just, to your point, adding to the mental stack. However, sometimes you get chop sueyed, and that is going to be game number 2 going in Raru's favor.
Yeah, that one felt like it was quite wrapped up. Excuse me for the stutter. It was quite wrapped up once Raru grabbed the bell. This is like game 2 is pretty
the
firmly
bell tolls for thee.
The shoe is on the other foot, it seems. Neat little interactions though that like you can see Raru start to regain comfort in. He seems very comfortable shielding now, which obviously Pac-Man's grab isn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, it's really, really active. So that can help cover on reaction spot dodges that are usually work for all other characters, but not for Pac-Man.
Yeah, I like to call Pac-Man's grab the best worst grab in the game. And for the exact reason that you just pointed out, the activity making it not spot dodgeable. The downside being it is hyper punishable on the other side of things. So, you know, pros and cons.
Yeah, and it has a very, very easy both audio cue and visual cue,
Yeah.
which is my favorite. As soon as Pac-Man goes from a big old happy face to a big old frowny face, get him. That grab is the active.
Get him. He's so sad.
He's very sad.
Bro, we are thinking right now.
Yeah.
Wait, is it characters first or stages first? This matters a lot.
That is a great question.
Because he was just sitting on FD, made me think about it.
Do you want to
Go on FD.
winner of the previous match indicates whether they are changing characters and bans 3 stages. The loser then makes their choice.
Oh, no wonder he's waiting so long. Okay, he hovered the Kazuya. He even faked it out a little bit with picking the color. Based color choice, by the way. But no, we are going Pac-Man. I think Pac-Man also does well on this stage. I don't see a reason yet for T to make the switch. I think he just had a difficult game, off to a difficult start on his opponent's small stage counter pick. So I like sticking with the Pac-Man here.
Yeah, particularly when you have everything going for you from a neutral perspective. Like, clearly T was not far behind, even in that game too. Like, T was not far behind when it came to like the amount of neutral interactions that were won over the course of the game. One of those happened to just be Luigi grabbed you at 0, and that sometimes you just lose on that front.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, sometimes you just get Luigi. You talked about it earlier. You called like that was just a quintessential Luigi game, right? So
Yeah.
This time around, you take a deep breath, you reset. Honestly, you play pretty much the same game plan with just a little bit of RPS adjustments, and you close out stock number 1 with a cheeky little F smash off of your opponent's small mistake. However, it could have gone the other way.
Yeah, like I feel like we've missed a lot of down throw up Bs from Raru, where it feels like the DI hasn't been wrong, or the DI read hasn't been wrong. It's just been slight spacing mix-ups there.
It's just a small hitbox.
Yeah.
And that's a difficult thing for consistency at this level, this late in a bracket, with this much pressure on you on stage. Probably about 10,000 plus people watching online from my counts. And you're being asked to hit this tiny little hitbox to stay alive.
And you just gotta do it.
You just gotta do it every single time, because if you don't, now you're down to stock. Evened it up, but 62%. That gives T license to do whatever he wants.
And I think it's worth bringing up the idea of value hits, right? Luigi has a lot of hits that are high value. We've talked about them at length. But T is doing a really good job in this game number 2, at least in the early part of this game number 3, excuse me, of maximizing what hits are actually worth taking. So we've been seeing in a lot of these ledge interactions, T is just taking the Zair, knocked back off stage, re-grabs ledge, do it again. Like, that's okay to take, because you're manipulating your percent gates, and most importantly, you're not losing the game instantly by trying to force your way back on stage in a way that's too brazen or too aggressive or too readable. Like,
yes, agree. Those value hits, it's a good way to put it. Another thing I really like is the setups eliminating Raru's value hits as much as possible. Things like he made a hydrant and then put a trampoline right on top of it. There's a high value hit though. Raru back in the driver's seat. Now things are getting interesting.
Yeah, the trade-off being, as much as T has been...
Oh no!
And nice up gets rid of the trampoline just in case. Up until that moment though, T was minimizing the value hits he was taking, but was also not gaining any hits of his own, value or not valuable. T has lost a lot of offensive presence because of the FD pick, and it's largely because of this exact situation that we're watching unfold. T feels comfortable holding ledge and trying to maximize space. Meanwhile, Raru feels no need to push the initiative and instead is letting this 50 plus frame active move do a lot of talking.
Yeah, it's incredibly active, and that makes it very difficult to time around. Now Raru's in a decent spot because the hydrant's in the corner. Nowhere for T to run and hide, so he sets up the trampoline. Raru playing around it well, but great combo from T to reset the neutral. Now he sets up his hydrant again, but once again, he keeps falling out. No! He keeps falling out!
That was game. He had it right. Oh, tragedy here, Lentini. He was literally just pixels away again on another down throw up B, and instead of finding the connection and taking the stock at 80 some percent, it was like 85, 86%, it's just, you lose the game off of it because that's one forward smash to even the game, and then a ledge scenario that T plays correctly. That's unbelievably tough to watch a game slip through your fingers, but you can only blame yourself.
And that is so tough. Lost out on 2 stocks, ended up being roughly the same way. Missed your up special. The first time you got F smashed right away. The second time it took a little bit more posturing to get there, but we got there nonetheless. T probably with a sigh of deep relief, like a Wii Fit trainer there, taking a big breath. As we go into game number 4, it's T's advantage, but it's Raru who has been in control. He just can't close it out.
A problem in and of itself.
It's not a closer.
Yeah,
It's
you
tough.
can't be. I mean, it's losers finals. Like, those little mistakes are going to get punished even harder than they were at loser 7ths, at 9ths, at 13ths. Like, even, there's a big difference between letting a combo drop in any other round, but losers finals, those little mistakes are always going to get maximized. Got to be playing on your on point here. Fortunately.
There we go. T maximizing an opportunity to push him off stage. Maneuvering around that side special as well, very well. Recognizing I don't need to hit him. He can't come back. He was just there as a safety net in case Raru had a little bit more height than he expected. Love that grab of the bell there. Really not in too bad of a spot for T because he has that bell. Sure enough, Raru flickering the shield. Perfect timing to stay alive, but it gives T, more importantly, again, is his opportunity to set up.
I love T's use of trampoline, Lentini. I've just been adoring the different heights, the different positions, the different placements, oftentimes just putting it on the floor, and it causes a half-second delay. And I think that's kind of been the ethos of the entire set thus far. It's just how often is T forcing little awkward delays or little hazards that can allow him to set up with Pac-Man, and how comfortable has Raru been at finding positions around those setups in game. Go ahead.
It's very Steve coded, right?
Yeah.
Instead of having a block, you put out a trampoline and you put out a hydrant, and that gives you opportunity. He's even spacing it around these platforms the same way you typically see with Steve setting up, so that it's difficult for your opponent to jump over it, because then you're stuck trying to also fall through a platform, so you've sort of built yourself a little house. Oh no, the misfire actually working against Raru. That's how you know he's a true Luigi player. He doesn't just get the misfire, but he gets the misfire that screws him over.
Yeah, the shoe fits the other foot as well. Goes both ways, yada, 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 all those other idioms. Still, Raru's not far behind in this game. It's felt like T has had so much going for him because clearly stuff like this happens and your take go from 0 to 53 in a blink of an eye. But, I mean, 115, 2 stocks to 1, you're out of B, like your typical B and B ranges, and the one thing that Pac-Man doesn't have over a lot of current characters and other metagame threats, and the reason it feels like he's been falling off, is that Pac-Man games go long not by choice.
Yeah, he really doesn't have agency there. There are a few zoner v zoner matchups where you'll see him choose to be the aggressor typically, But most of the time, he has to play slow because the moment he boxes, he ends up at a disadvantage, especially in a matchup like this where Raru wants nothing more than to get up close and play that strike throw game, because he can win the strike throw game once out of every 5 and he still comes out on top.
Plus, there's just the amount of time it takes to do all of this. It's like, oh, I need Bell, so I have to run off stage and get Bell. Oh, my recovery takes long. Setting up Hydrant is its own ordeal. Like, these things just take a long time.
Yeah, very true. That's a good point.
Yeah, already at under 3 minutes, despite being pretty close to an end game. Final stock here for Raru, potentially of the tournament. But if we can take this stock early, we could easily see a game 5 here, trying to shark with an up tilt, but Bell in hand. You know T's not looking to toss that indiscriminately. He's trying to get Raru to flinch, but so far Raru's been pretty aggro with it, not fearing the arc that Bell has. Nice reaction to block it and punish.
I'm very impressed with the way Raru played that. Usually, oh, what a call out. That is what he has been waiting for with that high maneuvering. I can't believe he scooped there. But yeah, to your point of what you're saying with the Bell, usually you see players run around and like dash up shield and try to bait out the Bell because they're so scared of it. Raru didn't shield a single time until that final opening when T actually threw the Bell. Game 5.
Right. Plus, there was that whole Pac-Man Bell stuff that was being talked about. That's probably clearly known. If you like CC work, crouch canceling, sorry, is way more effective against Pac-Man's Bell than it is on anything else. Yep. So you can block it on reaction or just CC it on reaction and just be in a better place against Bell. So the prep against that specific option being very, very shown off and only adding to the flames of the idea that like T is forced across this entire set to take longer and longer, to let games go longer and longer, to keep himself steady and keep the matchup firmly in his control, which only favors the grappler because all Raru needs is one.
All right, we're settling into our 4th game 5 of this top 8 already. Both of these players want it so badly. Raru, of course, wants the run back. T wants his opportunity, saying Raru's already gotten his turn. But it comes down to a single game on Hollow Bastion, which will be a little bit interesting for the way that T sets up, because he no longer has the platform to hide under in the corner, but he's got a lot of stage to work with.
Interesting here that T, oh no. Oh,
he hit it.
Hiccup finally finds the up tilt into up B, finally connects on an aerial up B, and the jump back conversion on the platform, just daring T to put out one of those rising forward airs. Perfectly scouted and punished. T's not far behind.
It was the B-reverse variant as well, which is even harder to pull off.
Oh, true.
Raru definitely going to be getting a confidence boost from being able to clutch that out here. And now trying to press up with those Zairs. The way he is preventing T from setting up shop, I think a lot of it does come down to that platform layout. Now T has to decide, do I try to set up in the center stage? Do I fight for that? Or do I accept that I'm going to get worse setups in the corner?
Seems so far he's pretty comfortable playing out of the corner, but Bell continues to be a pretty non-factor. Trying to find a meaty F-tilt. I cannot believe that Nair beat out a Pac-Man up air. Just Luigi's hitboxes, especially when playing the reversal game, so good. Nair and down B pulling a lot of work anytime T wants to be even a little bit aggressive.
He's Raru, that is, has been playing around that trampoline very well. We saw all the way from the beginning of the set. He was even using Zairs to break it quickly. Look at that. Look at this. My man, he is adapting in real time. Like, clearly knew the matchup coming in, despite the esoteric nature of this matchup. But on top of that is finding a couple of answers to catch T off guard. That was 100% a misinput. That's so unfortunate.
And again, whiffing on what could have been such a big conversion. Instead of being a 2 stocks to 1 and you're at 64%, which is not even close to death percent against Pac-Man, now you're still playing this long game. You're still needling out, like, how do I get this final meaningful hit? You know, an appreciated attempt at a grab, but Luigi's comes up. The water messes up the conversion that time.
I've got to give it to T. He must be mixing up his DI very well to catch Raru so off guard so often with those up specials, because Raru is very good at finding that. He's one of the best, if not the best, in the world at finding that against top players. Okay, there we go. We do get the Luigi Cyclone to take that stock anyway. Doesn't end up losing too much despite the misinput, and now on the cusp of getting his run back.
Oh, trampoline there, but again, as to your point, Lantini, he played around the trampoline out of the combo in order to pick up a smaller finish.
Oh,
and it mattered. It mattered.
And he catches the bell with it. Now it's kind of the other way. That was the opportunity for T to take a stock. But the timing of, I think it was the Nair falling from Raru to option select that, right? He catches the offensive tool, turns it into his own reversal of the offense, recognizes, reacts, converts, and takes it over T.
Man, oh man, what a flip of the script there from game 4 to game 5. Like, Raru feeling like there was so much needling, so much stuff he had to go through, like little interactions that you have to get used to. Like, every time you get used to one permutation of like a bonus fruit plus hydrant plus trampoline, another thing has to worry about. And then the little wrinkles that T would do, the different timings on fair, the different spacings on landing up air, all that jazz. And then suddenly in game 5, the script was flipped. Like, suddenly Raru had a lead and was able to change up how he played and play back and more defensive, forcing Pac-Man to approach. Like, the absolute transformation that came with all the different angles, all the different avenues, all the different coverages and conversions that Raru applied finally came to a head in a game number 5, in a barn burner of a game 5 set, but one that Raru walks with 3-2.
And having that Hollow Bastion pick because you won game 3, I think goes such a long way for Raru to be able to pull that out. Looked so much more comfortable on the stage, which was, I think, a theme of the set. Raru was remarkably comfortable in so many scenarios, and even though T was winning games, a lot of those situations seemed to be less about T finding the win and more about Raru dropping critical confirms. So as soon as he finds it, he wins. And even then, that last game, he dropped a key kill confirm and he still won.
Yeah, excellent point, right? Like, it had been a story of the set that Raru was just missing these key conversions, and you can't be doing that. That's how you lose games. That's how you lose sets. But the fact that games went long, the fact that the Pac-Man pick kind of lost a lot of offense that you normally see with Kazuya's gameplay, and the fact that this is there was many opportunities to continue to win and to continue to stay in games. It can't let those opportunities go by the wayside for T, and eventually Raru found his mark.